those who are willing to pursue their dreams and professional development, Denmark has a wealth of untapped opportunity and potential. And Danish companies that are seeking global talent are in a strong position to market themselves globally, to adapt their approach, and take advantage of the skills and experience that are available to them. For many companies, the barriers can seem too challenging to overcome, such as recruitment time, relocation costs, and visa and permit requirements. And a lack of information and support results in misconceptions about recruiting senior expats. The key is a knowledgeable staffing and recruitment partner who specializes in sourcing, engaging, and placing senior roles globally. You're watching Staffing Strategies Simplified, where we're talking to Lucian Jon, Operations Director for our Denmark team. In this episode, Lucian will dispel some of the myths around hiring senior expats, the visa and work permit process, and how to attract and retain top talent into the country. His advice and tips are invaluable to companies who are looking to recruit the best talent to develop their competitive edge. So, hi Lucian, how are you today?
Hi Matt, all good. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks.
But yeah, thank you very much. So why should Denmark invest in getting senior expats? Well, to invest in senior expats here in Denmark can actually have many benefits. So one of the benefits could be experience and expertise. So senior experts often bring decades of experience and expertise in their field. And this can help strengthen the workforce and provide valuable knowledge to companies and organizations here in Denmark. That is one of the things. Another thing could actually also be to have an innovative input. So senior experts have a wide range of experience, and that can lead to new and innovative approaches to problem solving and development across, various industries and sectors. Another thing which I think would also be very valuable is mentorship. So mentorship and senior experts can actually help some of the younger employees in the companies to be sharing and showing and telling them how the talent can maybe develop them even further. And another thing is international network. So international network can also attract senior expats from other countries. And can actually lead to establishing a stronger team with international connection. And in the end, it will also contribute to the Danish economy. So in terms of taxes and the consumption of all the things that there is here in Denmark. So those are some of the things.
Brilliant, thank you. That's a great answer. So the next question we've got is, why do they come over, and what are the roles and industries where expats are in high demand?
Well, expats may choose to relocate to Denmark for various reasons, but one of the reasons is also, of course, the quality of life, the possibilities for educational opportunities. But you could say some of the biggest and the best industries that Denmark has is within IT, so information technology. So Denmark has a thriving IT sector. So this is here where at the moment Denmark is really looking for a lot of qualified workforce for those open positions that they have. Often they don't tend to have it, in the country, and that's why it'd be good to look abroad. Well, expats with engineering backgrounds, particularly those with specialized skills or experience, may find actually great opportunities in Denmark. Another thing is also within the whole life science industry, with companies focusing on pharmaceutical, medical device, and biotech research. Well, expats with those background in the life science and the pharmaceutical area will definitely benefit, and they are in high demand at the moment. Many people are talking about, green technology and all those things. But green technology, you could say Denmark is a leader in green technology. And they have a huge focus within the renewable energy with carbon capture, wind, solar, and just sustainable urban development. Expats with expertise in these industries may find opportunities in the Danish companies and in the organizations. So these are just a few examples which will be in demand for expats for very depending on market trends.
Brilliant, thank you. Our next question is, what are the rules and regulations surrounding hiring and deploying expats in Denmark? So, for example, are there limits to the numbers a company can hire or the roles they can be in? Are there any specific rules that we have to follow?
Yeah, there definitely is here in Denmark. So one of the things would be If you are coming from a non-EU country, then work permit is definitely one thing that you need to hold. If you come from a EU country, then it will be a little bit easier to be able to work in Denmark without having the work permit. However, they may still need to register with the Danish authorities to be fully compliant working here in Denmark. But also another thing could also be, let's say, residence permits. So expats planning to stay in Denmark for an extended period may need to get a resident permit. So that is also a thing. Taxation. So expats working in Denmark are subject to the Danish tax laws. Employers are typically responsible for withholding taxes from employees' salaries, remitting them to the Danish tax authorities. Social security and benefits, it's very a big one as well. So expats working in Denmark may be entitled to certain social security benefits, such as healthcare and pension. So depending on their employment status and the length of the stay, this the big or the good thing that they'll be able to get. So those are just some of the small rules that is a really must if you would like to be willing to relocate to Denmark.
Cool, thank you. And then the next question kind of ties into that. When you've got expats that are coming in for the long term, let's say, for example, they're going to be working on a contract that is maybe up to 4 or 5 years, depending on where they're going to work. Is there a sort of family residency visa, or would the family be expected to apply for temporary residency or a work permit themselves?
So expats who hold a valid work permit or resident permit in Denmark are typically allowed to bring their family members to Denmark. And that includes, wife and children, or maybe husband and children to Denmark. So family members may also be eligible for resident permits, allowing them to live and also to work in Denmark. That's, you could say, a very positive thing. The length of the working visa or work permit in Denmark can vary depending on different factors like duration of the contract.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that makes sense. Regardless of the employment rules with contractors or permanent workers, obviously one of the big key things with an expat is the actual process of getting them into the country and getting that documentation ready. So from your perspective, what is the process of moving to Denmark for expats for work?
I will try to answer all the questions, but you could say moving to Denmark for work involves several steps, unfortunately, and including obtaining the correct documentation, finding accommodation, and navigating the relocation processes. And you could say that some of the overviews are the typical processes is so. As I said earlier, to have the work permit, to have the work permit, to have the residence permit as well. So another thing is you need to find the accommodation, and where do you find the accommodation? And this is here where the whole research starts. Will you be able to reach out to some companies who are specialists in those areas? Of course. So research starts searching for accommodation options in Denmark well in advance before you actually move. So consider factors such as location, budget, is thing that you would need to consider. So the process duration for work permit can vary, and I don't have the exact number of how many days, how many weeks. It's the same with the resident permit. But again, overall, the process of moving to Denmark for work requires careful planning, research, and coordination to ensure a smooth transition. So it's advisable to seek guidance from Danish authorities, your employer, or immigration professionals to navigate the process in the right way and also to be legal compliant here in Denmark.
Brilliant, thank you. So our next question then kind of leads on from that. Say our expat is now in the country, they are employed. Just kind of as a reality of it, what's it like for them living in Denmark? Do they tend to live together? What's the kind of cultural integration like?
I believe that Denmark still ranks really, really high in quality of life due to its strong social welfare system, healthcare, and education, and their work-life balance here. English is, as I mentioned, I think that I said approximately 85%. Many Danes speaks English fluently, especially in urban areas and professional settings, which can ease the transition for expats who do not speak Danish. Social customs. So the Danish people tend to be reserved, but initially they are really, really warm over the time. And then there is the work culture. So Danish work culture emphasizes collaboration, equality, and a flat organizational structure. So another thing is living arrangements. Expats in Denmark live in variety of housing options, including apartments, houses, and shared accommodation. Rental properties are very common, especially in the urban areas. So the expat's life in Denmark can be fulfilling with its high quality of life. While there may be initial challenges in adjusting to new culture and a way of life, many expats find Denmark to be a welcoming and rewarding place to live and to work.
So we've talked a lot today about how companies can seek those expats. So just looking a bit more about your role in NES Furcroft a bit more specifically, how does NES Furcroft support contractors being deployed in Denmark? What do we do for them?
Well, as I mentioned, NES Furcroft is a global workforce solution provider who is specialized in the recruitment and the deployment of skilled professionals in various industries. And one of the things that they will be able to help with is the visa and the work permit, which is some of the biggest challenges to get into the country if you are coming from an EU country. So another thing is travel and relocation support. So that means that NES Furcroft may offer travel and relocation assistance to help contractors navigate and to move to Denmark. This could include arranging flights, accommodation, transportation, and relocations. Another thing could also be onboarding and orientation. So NES Furcroft may provide contractors with comprehensive onboarding and orientation programs to familiarize them with their new role. Another thing is the contract management. So NES Furcroft may handle contract management and the whole administration for contractors, including negotiating terms and conditions and managing payrolls and benefits, and we ensuring compliance with employment laws and regulations. There is also the health and the safety, which is very important when we are talking about contractors offshore. So NES Furcroft may offer ongoing support and assistance to contractors throughout their assignment in Denmark, including regular checks-ins, which I believe is important when you're new in Denmark, and then performance reviews and resolving of any issues or concerns that may arise. So it's very important for me to say and to have that note that specific support service provides from NES Furcroft.
Excellent. Yeah, that's, I think, really good points. That's great. So our last two questions are kind of the same question, really. They're just from two different angles. So the first one is, what advice would you give to professional expats who are looking to move to work into the country? What would be your kind of top tips?
Ooh, I have many. But so if you're considering moving to work in Denmark, here are some key points or advice to help you prepare your whole transition. So a good thing, research the job market. Familiarize yourself with the job market in Denmark, including in demand industries, skills, and job opportunities. Research potential employers and understand the hiring process and requirements. So no, be really specific of what would you like to work with? What would you bring to the table if you would come to Denmark? Sometimes it can be difficult, but if you are open-minded and really respectful and willing to adapt to the Danish customs and traditions, wow, I think that maybe you'll never want to leave again. So that's how strong Denmark can actually be. And again, another point is network and build connections. I would say that really without network, I don't know what I would be, but network is essential for finding job opportunities and building professional relationships in Denmark. So attend industry events, join professional organizations, and connect with global professionals through your network. Another point which is really, really important, Matt, is prepare financially. Research the cost of living in Denmark. So research the housing, utilities, transportation, healthcare, and ensure that you have the sufficient funds to cover your expenses during the initial stages of your relocation and transition. And in the end, maybe explore housing options. Start looking for accommodation in Denmark and well in advance before you move. Consider factors such as locations. Where is it good? Where is it bad? Where is it close to where you work? How long does it take to come to work? So explore rental websites like real estate agents and also expats communities could also be on social media like Facebook or Instagram. That could also be something to think of. Don't hesitate to seek support from the relocation experts or reach out to colleagues, friends, mentors for guidance and advice throughout your transition. So again, by following these small steps or tips, and taking some proactive steps to prepare for your move to Denmark, you can set yourself up for a successful experience in your new home and your new workplace.
Brilliant. I think that's really good advice. And then the last one we have really is for companies and organizations that are looking to tap into the expat market and find these skills and experience globally, who may be unsure or may be worried about some of the difficulties that they might find. What would be your advice to companies who are looking to recruit expats?
Many companies in Denmark here, they actually are embracing expats. But for companies, you should embrace diversity and inclusion. It's one of the things. So foster a culture of diversity and inclusion within your organization by promoting equal opportunities for all employees, regardless of nationality, gender, background. Prioritize employee development and training programs to upskill and empower your workforce. Provide opportunities for professionals' growth, so mentorship and continuous learning to enhance employee engagement and retention. That is, I would say, a key. Another thing is stay competitive in the job market by offering attractive benefits and perks to your employees. That could be health insurance, retirement plans, flexible work arrangement, wellness programs. So maybe try to consider tailoring benefits to meet the needs and preferences of your diverse workforce, and support and embrace the work-life balance. Promote work-life balance by offering flexible work and arrangement. So embrace remote work options and policies that prioritize employees' well-being. And another thing I would say is encourage employees to take regular breaks, vacation, and time off to recharge and really to avoid to burn out. This is the key. Support the work-life balance. Provide a clear communication. So I believe that if you maintain to be completely transparent and open communication with your employees, you actually ensure that employees understand their roles, they understand their responsibilities, and they have access to information and resources needed to perform their jobs even more effectively. And employee involvement in decision-making processes is also key. That also varies and depends on which level you are. So again, a lot of questions, a lot of things that I just said, but by following these recommendations, companies in Denmark can create a supportive and inclusive and engaging workplace culture to really attract the top talents. And this drives the business success.
That's brilliant. Thank you. And then for any organizations or anybody who's watching this podcast at the moment with any questions, obviously, if they've got anything specific from this podcast, they can just reach out to our Denmark office.
Yeah, definitely. They're more than welcome. I'll be willing to also be answering questions. So they're more than welcome just to reach out. Feel free to reach out. I'll be here to support and help as much as I can. And if I don't know the answer, I'll definitely make sure to have someone who can find the answer for you.
Fantastic. So Lucian, thank you very much for your time today. Thank you for answering our questions. Our audience will definitely enjoy this episode. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
You've been watching Staffing Strategies Simplified, a podcast from NES Furcroft. If you've enjoyed this episode and you'd like to see more, check out our podcasts on Spotify and YouTube. And if you'd like to learn about some of the opportunities that we have in Denmark, go to our website at www.nesfurcroft.com. Thanks so much for watching.